Hey, hey you. Are you interested in a new Star Trek series made for younger audiences? Are you interested in a young and diverse cast that were hired on the mere merit that they're young and diverse because they've got the acting range of Brie Larson on their worst day and Tessa Thompson on their best? Are you interested in this thing or that or whatever the fuck this is supposed to be?
What the hell is even that?
Well, shut up, bigot, because you're gonna get it anyway. And it comes in the form of Starfleet Academy, Paramount's latest, creative endeavor that I was well aware of and wanted to skip, but people just won't shut the hell up about it. And if curiosity killed the cat, then it definitely ran me over with a forklift. So off I went to check out the first two episodes, and after 2 hours of what I can only describe as cinematic torture, I've got a few things I want to say. Not so Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Let's talk about it. To lead things off, we're going to talk about our hero. And I say hero lightly because this guy has as much in common with heroes like Captain Kirk and Captain Picard as I do with Jennifer Aniston. We're introduced to him in the opening minutes of the first episode when his mother is incarcerated for stealing food and he becomes a ward of the Federation. He ends up pretty much living a life of crime for the next 15 years because he escaped from the cell that they put him in when his mother was taken away. I can't remember his name, so for the purpose of this video, I'm going to call him Gary Stu. Why Gary Stu? Because just like seemingly every damn character in modern entertainment, this guy is great at pretty much everything, for no other reason other than the plot wants him to be.
Of course.
When the hell are we gonna just... Oh God, when are we gonna stop this nonsense? We've been doing it for over 10 years at this point. Audiences didn't like it back then, and they most certainly don't like it now. Anyway, I digress. So Gary Stu is apparently a world-class fighter, a pilot who's good enough to keep prison ships traveling at high speeds from crash landing, a genius hacker capable of overriding enemy weapons, and apparently the universe's greatest escape artist. How is he all of these things? Well, he learned it on the streets, I guess.
Right.
Hell if I know, guys. Good lord, don't shoot the messenger here. Alright, so my biggest issue with Gary Stu, outside of him being a Gary Stu, is that he's just a shithead. He's belligerent, insubordinate, has no respect for anyone or anything around him. He's constantly doing the wrong thing at all hours of the day, and it makes me really think, is this what kids and young adults have to look up to now? My father grew up watching Captain Kirk in the 1966 original series, and Kirk was a bold leader who knew when to take risk, even if they defied all logic at the time, but he was always deeply loyal to his crew, always decisive in his own way, and he knew how to overcome seemingly impossible situations. And then for myself, I had Captain Picard, who I grew up with in the 1990s. Picard was always exceptional at diplomacy, looking for every reason to talk something out instead of resulting to violence, with a strong moral compass and the ability to inspire the crew around him to do better and to be better. Both Kirk and Picard were men of action, men who were respected, men who made mistakes but had the maturity and know-how to move beyond them. These men are something kids and adults aspired to be, but can you say the same about Gary Stu?
No, not really.
Why is he even being recruited into the Starfleet Academy in the first place? He's a criminal. Sure, I know that Nala, or whatever her name is using it as an excuse to watch over him while he's searching for his mother, but isn't the Academy reserved for the cream of the crop? You know, the best of the best? Oh, I guess not.
You serious?
But Solar Talks, Gary Stu isn't the captain like Kirk or Picard of this series, that would be Nala. Oh, you mean a Starfleet chancellor and captain that for whatever reason in hell decided to retire because she made one single mistake when separating Gary and his mother 15 years ago? What in the hell? She's shown to be a deeply moralistic woman who wants to actively take the fight to criminals and punish them for what they've done. But instead of sticking around and using her authority to try and reform the system, she just calls it quits.
That doesn't make sense.
Like, why? She's got all these tools at her disposal, along with an apparent stellar reputation because she's asked by the president to run an entire ass school. And she never uses any of this to appeal what happened. I just don't, I don't understand that the show uses this as an excuse to forward 15 years into the future so that the rest of the plot could happen, but it doesn't coincide with how she's framed. That's like being the mayor of your local city, and instead of advocating for change on something you disagree with, you throw your hands up and walk away. It just doesn't, it doesn't make any sense. And you know what else doesn't make any sense? If you're not liking the video and subscribe to the channel, because, come on, like, what are you doing here?
Move this man!
Discipline. Discipline not being paramount in the Starfleet makes no sense. What do I mean by that? Well, take a look at this photo. Now, look at this one. And lastly, this one. Can you spot the difference? It seems there aren't any height and weight requirements when it comes to the Starfleet, which is odd for a branch of the government that's supposed to be able to respond to threats when diplomacy fails. Again, these people are supposed to be the best of the best. When I was in the Marine Corps, it didn't matter if you were infantry like myself, supply, admin, or cleaning toilets for a living. You had to fall into a very specific height and weight guideline to ensure you were combat effective at all times. And if you weren't, you only had a certain amount of time to unfuck yourself or you got kicked the hell out. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing applying any kind of real-world principle to a Kurtzman Star Trek production?
Are you retarded?
Body positivity isn't the only social justice trope in this show either. Tell me, if you had to guess the ethnicity of the one asshole in this group of young cadets who chooses to bully the others as a self-righteous, arrogant twat, which ethnicity would it be? If you guessed white, then you're absolutely correct. Oh my, who could have seen this coming except for, well, everyone. Oh, and remember Klingons? Remember how they're the warrior class in the Star Trek universe, driven by tribal instinct, aggression, and want to die a glorious death in battle? Well, no more it seems, because whoever this guy is likes to watch birds and wants to get in touch with his sensitive side. Also, why does everything look so cheap and saturated too? Like it was ripped out of the latest Disney MCU offering. And somehow each of these episodes cost anywhere between $12 to $20 million a piece, according to recent reports. For the life of me, I don't know how. Oh God, this show is just torture, but it's whatever, who cares? Starfleet Academy is going to disappear just like the Acolyte. Although, for some reason, Paramount has already renewed it for a second season without even seeing how audiences respond to this season. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking out my review. I'll talk to y'all later.